hello. So it is time for a tag video, which is why I'm at my computer, even though we got the bad, lighting coming in from the window back here, because it's time for the 2024 mid-year book freakout tag. It is August 6th, so it's a little bit after the middle of the year, but it's fine, we're chill. So we go on. First up, I did see this on Capri's Book Islands channel, so I will link that down below. So the first question is, how is your reading going? And I'm super behind, actually. I have read 248 books this year, which I know that's a lot of books. However, I'm not competing with anybody except for myself. And for me, personally, last year, let's pull out this bad boy. So I was at 248 last year. In July, so that's a month behind there. The year before, which was my most ridiculously wonderful reading year, I was at 248. Also, no, I was in June, so I'm really just getting a little bit slower every single time. Yeah, my goal is to read 500 books every year, and I am, according to Goodreads, 50 books behind at this point, so it's not going well. But again, yes, objectively speaking, I've read a lot of books this year. However, for my personal standards, I have not. So, all right, best book, and since we have a reread category, I'm not going to mention, because the best book is a reread, but other than that, we've got, if we go all the way to the top, that was a reread. My best book that was not a reread was The Nickel Boys by, that was not a reread, was The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead, which was very good. It was a very good book. Best sequel read so far in 2024. Again, we're not counting rereads. So, no. It was The Sunshine Court by Nora Sakovic. I did actually do this on my blog at one point. So that's why if you read my blog, which nobody does, then some of these answers might seem familiar, but I did do this on my blog, and which I'm just remembering now as I answer that question. All right, favorite reread. Glamorama by Bret Easton Ellis. Oh my god. This is my favorite book of all time. All right, genre I've been loving reading the most. This has actually been a really big fantasy year for me. I have previously, I've said I don't really like fantasy all that much. I'm a big horror, mostly horror's my thing, but this year I've been reading an awful lot of fantasy, comparatively, and I've really been enjoying a lot of it. I've really kind of locked in on Brandon Sanderson a little bit there, which is embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie, but I've been digging fantasy. Obviously horror and manga are my two, when I look at my spreadsheet, those are the ones I've read the most of, but it's been a big fantasy year for me personally. New release I haven't read yet, but want to. Look at the book wall. Oh wait. This is even in my immediate TBR. It's I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. Also, I haven't read The Angel of Indian Lake yet either, but it is buried in the book wall, and so I have no idea when I'm actually ever going to read that, so it's kind of sad. All right. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Let's take a look at my pre-orders. So we go here. What do I have pre-ordered? Well, the 15th Volumes of Monthly Girls Uzaki-kun is coming out in September, and I'm excited about that. That's probably the pre-order I'm most excited about, I'm not gonna lie. Biggest disappointment. Honestly, this one's gonna change from when I did my blog post. This is one I read a couple days ago, and it really disappointed me. So I read a lot of horror, right? And I really like horror, and I've been trying to get into the modern extreme horror because I do love 80s splatterpunk, your Richard Lehman, your Jack Ketchum, all that kind of stuff. Exquisite Corpse ruined cannibalism books for me because I just want them all to be Exquisite Corpse now. So I've been trying to get into modern extreme horror, and you will notice that I say extreme horror instead of splatterpunk, because in my mind they are two completely different genres, because splatterpunk is good. Anyway, the one extreme horror book that I have enjoyed is Blue Jay by Megan Stockton. I thought it was phenomenal. It was really fun, and there was a lot of heart in it, and so that is prior to like Sunday. That was the only extreme horror book I'd ever read by a woman. And the other ones I read, like by like Erin Beauregard and stuff like that, were not very good. And so I was like, on Sunday, I sat down with my Kindle, and I have No One Rides for Free on my Kindle by Judith Sonnet. And I'm like, maybe this is it. Maybe this is gonna be great. This is gonna be like Blue Jay. I'm gonna have a great time. And it was just not good. It was not good. And honestly, I gave it a lower rating than I probably should have, because I was so disappointed. I gave it 1 star, and I gave Them by Mika Watson 2 stars, and objectively speaking, No One Rides for Free is better than Them, but I was expecting so much more from No One Rides for Free. I thought it was going to be so good, but just, yeah, it was gross, sure, if that's what you're going for. And I understand it was written in 10 days, and for something that was written and published in 10 days, it is, it's on a sentence level, it's not bad. It's realistically speaking, it is written better than most of the extreme horror I've read. But like, I was expecting so much more, because I loved Blue Jay by Megan Stockton, and I was like, maybe this will be it. And it wasn't it. So that was really disappointing, and it made me really sad. All right, biggest surprise. So a biggest surprise would probably stay on my shelf. I'm gonna say this is another recent one, and that might be why it's in my head. And I'm not gonna grab the book because it's falling apart and it needs to make it through my weekly wrap up on Sunday. That's The American by Henry James. I had to read Daisy Miller a million times in my undergrad because I was an English major, and I read The Turn of the Screw on my own, and I was fine with Daisy Miller, and I didn't really like The Turn of the Screw all that much, so I wasn't really expecting a lot from The American. It was really good. Like, I think it's gonna be one of my top books of the year, and like, I want a nice copy because mine is literally, as I was reading it, it was falling apart. Like, I would turn the page, and I'd be reading, and then I'd like put the book down, and all the pages that I had read would be out of the book. So like, that's why I'm not grabbing it from my DVR card, because like, it needs to be able to survive at least until Sunday. All right, new favorite new author debut or new to me. This one's kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't read a lot of new authors that I've really loved. Most of the books I've really loved have been rereads of like authors. Let me go back to my spreadsheet here. No, I'm gonna go to my different spreadsheet. I have several spreadsheets for my books because I'm just a spreadsheet freak. All right. I guess Katie Robert. I first read her I first read her last December. I read Electric Idol this year, but so that doesn't really count, does it? I read A Study in Charlotte this year, Brittany Cavallaro. That was pretty good. Colson Whitehead is new to me this year. Nickel Boys was the first one I read by him. Read my first Rachel Reed this year. Elliot Schrafer, I really enjoyed Charming Young Man. I don't think I have a new like favorite. I have authors that I read for the first time this year that I really enjoyed, but no authors that are completely new to me that I'm just like absolutely going crazy for. I really liked A Lower Deep by Tom Piccirilli, but I don't know if the rest of his work is going to be like that, because I read a short story by him and it was like not quite on the same level of just weirdness. I think I'm throwing these out here, and this is really all I got. Like there's nothing that was super new to me that was really, really awesome. I did read my first Salman Rushdie. I read Knife. Which seems maybe a little bit weird to read that first and not any of his, fiction, but yeah, no, I don't think I got much else happening here. I did read my first Bill Koenigsberg. I read The Music of What Happens. It was very good. Yeah, no, that's kind of where we're at this point. I did read the Breadwinner trilogy by Deborah Ellis, which was very good. All right, so I threw out a bunch that wrote books that I really liked, but I don't think I have a new favorite for this year. Newest favorite character. That's harder. God, jeez. I liked the kid whose name we never learned in Court of Wanderers. Oh, wait. I really liked Rory from Double Shifting. I'm not gonna lie. This one, maybe she. I could put her, because I've only read one book by her, but I really liked her character work in this. Book that made you cry. What did I cry at this year? Oh, I guess I cried. And Then They Were Gone by Judy Bevillard and Ron Cabral. This is a nonfiction book about some teachers who taught some of the Jonestown kids before they went and died. Book that made you happy. Jeez. I read the first volume of The Yakuza's Bias, and I thought it was actually hilarious, so I'm gonna go with that. Most beautiful book I bought so far this year or received. And so here's the thing, all of my books are in the book wall, so it's like hard to think of one, just because they're on the book wall and they're buried, and probably the most beautiful one is buried somewhere in there. And I don't really have much in terms of a book haul right now. I know last year when I did this, I took something directly from a book haul, but I have like 6 manga from Hansama and 1 book about the book, so it's like, not really. Yeah. Ooh, wait. This is from my most recent book haul. I really like the cover. It's The Dead, Take the A Train. Look at that cover. I really like it. A lot of people don't really like Cassandra Kha. They don't like they read Nothing but Black and Teeth and they hate. I really like Nothing But Black and Teeth, and so since everybody who hated that also hates this, I'm hoping for good things. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? Like 250 of them, 252 more. Yeah. I've got my rereads that I'd like to finish. One of them, which seems like given how large the book wall is, maybe I shouldn't be rereading from my shelves, but reading from my shelves prevents me from buying books that I want to reread. So, all those, everything that's currently on my TBR, whatever 252 more books will make me happy, Favorite video or post you've done so far this year? I've filmed a lot that I haven't posted yet, just because everything is so backed up. But if I look at what I have posted this year, so far, I've been really enjoying some of my, wrap-ups. My vinyl collection got a lot of views. I am liking being able to do real bookshelf tours now, that's really fun. And I like If the Yachts Boys watched anime, which is really stupid and nobody watched because nobody read that series. But if you wanna, it's a fun time. That was really fun. Reminiscing on the anime of my youth. I've been really liking some of my discussion videos, learning French, my experiences and what I do now. That's a fun time. And favorite book community members, who have I really been liking right now when it comes to book people? Because when it comes to non-book people, I can tell you it's Wendigoon, Mr. Gigi, and Dan and Phil. But other than them, and Papa Meat, I've been into Papa Meat a little bit as well. I like Reads with Rachel, Books in La La. Those are kind of my big ones. I really like Carolyn Marie Reads, and Emmy. Riley Murray's pretty good. Getting some hockey romance stuff from Happy for Now. I'm just going through my subscriptions. Sarah Without an Age, Chandler Ainsley are both very good. Haley Hughes I enjoy, although she liked No One Rides for Free, so I might have to rethink that one. But yeah, those are Throne of Paige. I really like Throne of Paige's vlogs. I really like her editing. Yeah, that's that. That is the Mid-Year Book Freakout tag for 2024. Probably it'll get posted in 2025, so I'll see you later.